When you first learn about pronouns, they may seem a little bit overwhelming. And that's because there are so many different terms that we use, so many different varieties to learn about. And because of that, we just want to take a little bit of time in this video to get acquainted with the range of pronouns so that we can kind of see the forest for the trees, so to speak. So let's jump in and very quickly review the 8 main types of pronouns. The first category we'll talk about are the personal pronouns, and this is one of the bigger categories, along with indefinite pronouns. These pronouns refer to persons, as you can see, and we can split them up in some more detail here. So the first row is referred to as subject pronouns. Subject pronouns. The second row consists of object pronouns. Instead of being the subject of a verb, let's say, they are the object of a verb or the object of a preposition. The third category consists of possessive pronouns. So possessive pronouns, you can see why, they show possession. And the last category here consists of possessive adjectives. So these pronouns do the job of adjectives. Other ones can do that as well, but these very specifically function like possessive adjectives. So you can say my car, your dress, and so on. If you think about these terms here, sometimes you'll see people analyze these pronouns by themselves, but don't think of them as a separate category, a specific type of pronoun. Just think of them as a subdivision of personal pronouns. The next category is very small. It's impersonal pronouns, and we're not even sure whether one should fit here. It's often included under indefinite pronouns as well. So you can see it as an indefinite pronoun. And then it, as you can see before, is also in our list above. So this it is only different because it doesn't refer to a specific person. If you say something like, it is sunny today, it is sunny, then what is it, right? It is this kind of impersonal thing. There's no word that it refers back to. The next 3 categories are fairly small and also fairly easy. So we have demonstrative pronouns. These allow you to point to different things. We have interrogative pronouns. These allow you to ask questions. So you can say, who did that? Something like that. And then we have relative pronouns, and these allow you to add extra information, to relate more information. You'll see that these are exactly the same as interrogative pronouns, except for one that's different, which is that. Instead of what, we have that. So if you want to relate more information, you could talk about Bob, whose car I stole, let's say. And you can see how whose introduces a new clause, it introduces a dependent clause, and it relates more information about Bob. Just 3 final categories to have a look at. We start with indefinite pronouns. These are pronouns that have a little bit of a vague aspect to them. So if you say many, for instance, how many are you talking about? Some actually refer to an absence of something, so things like nobody, none. And in a separate video, we'll talk more about these indefinite pronouns. Notice that there are quite a few more than just the examples listed here. Then we have the reflexive pronouns. These are pronouns that end in self, myself, yourself, themselves. So they're very easy to spot, and they allow you to add some extra emphasis. In fact, that's why they're sometimes called emphatic pronouns. Last category is reciprocal pronouns, and there are just 2 in this category. These are a couple of pronouns that work together to show how something is returned in kind or reciprocated. Those are the 8 varieties of pronouns, along with some subdivisions as well. And in other videos, we'll really zoom into what these pronouns do and how they function.